Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be dissertating and talking about the South Node in the second house in the natal horoscope. As most of you know, the South Node is connected with what we may have overemphasized or accentuated very strongly, generally in the first part of our lives. And though it may have helped to some degree in this part of our lives, we come to a conclusion that it gets kind of tiresome, been there, done that, and then we go, or at least feel compelled to go to our North Node and try to emphasize that, which is generally connected with our soul's mission or purpose in the second part of one's life. So anyway, let me get started. The first thing, with the South Node in the second house, this could be somebody that may have put a very strong emphasis on possessions, their values, things of a monetary nature in general, generating income, may have even been somewhat acquisitive and may have really overemphasized this in the first part of their lives. And though it could indicate that maybe this person showed they were proficient to some degree and maybe generating income and taking care of their own needs and being consistent with their values, what happens is, I think with this position, the person comes to the conclusion that maybe this is getting tiresome and maybe they're not making the progress they want to make this way, and it calls for a time of change. This could be the South Node in the second house may feel that maybe things that they've been doing as far as of a financial or monetary nature kind of become redundant. And when we look at this is the someone with the South Node in the second house obviously has the North Node in the 8th house, and the calling for this person may be to go through kind of, I guess you could say, like a metamorphosis or a transformation, perhaps in the way, in their approach to money. It may be something where this person may need to call out maybe for assistance, and it might not necessarily be that they need help with their finances in terms of getting money. It could be, but it could mean that maybe they need to say, I need some insight into what I need to do to perhaps enhance my financial situation, and maybe by calling out to somebody, which could very well be that that sexual partner who may be the significant other in the person's life. It could also indicate that we look at the 8th house, and that is connected with others' resources. And perhaps with the person with the South Node in the second having the North Node in the 8th, it could indicate that perhaps this person may show maybe a greater propensity at the latter point of their life to maybe take care of maybe someone else's resources, and that they can take their knowledge somehow of their finances also and maybe give this to somebody else and indoctrinate this person or other people with this ability, having perhaps the transformative or 8th house effect on them. Now, generally though, I think this person that has the South Node in the second does may at some point though still need maybe the assistance, at least as far as maybe some knowledge goes, or even may seek assistance through, like you could say, like a guru, like a motivational guru, like an Anthony Robbins, for example. And this could be something where we look at the person might, in the latter part of their lives, they may become interested in like an 8th house field or profession, which may be connected with astrology, the occult, the supernatural, metaphysical field, something connected with perhaps transforming someone's life, such as a motivational guru like I just described before, somebody that can indoctrinate positive thinking into others and help others feel compelled to transform or change their lives. something that's connected, even with a position related to death, like someone like a mortician or a coroner, or someone that works in a funeral home, for example. And this is a person that may feel that they really need at some point to go through their transformation, and by doing so, they will feel, I would say, as far as from a financial standpoint, it would really be beneficial to him or her as far as doing this. And it's about getting out of, I guess you could say, that routine, that thing with the second house, because the second house does correspond with Taurus, and this could be a person that might be too consistent in their routine, their ritual, having a certain regimented schedule that he or she doesn't deviate from. And if you don't waver or change from old habits, you generally may not make progress. It's okay to have a consistent way of maybe doing something income-wise, but if you're not doing anything where you're actually making more money, then you might have to decide to branch out at some point in time in your life. And I think that's when we look at the North Node in the 8th house, that's what the person is called to do at some point in time, and go through that regeneration or transformation in their life, which will ultimately help them perhaps even establish even better values and better ways of generating their income. So, and finding that maybe that happiness or that soul's mission or purpose that is connected with his or her life. So anyway, people, that will conclude this YouTube astrological segment for the South Node in the 2nd house in the natal horoscope. And stay tuned next time, where I'll be dissertating and talking about the South Node in the 3rd house in the natal chart. 2 things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis on a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because a person astrologically is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.